What's up guys, Moniz here and welcome to my review of the OnePlus 5T. I've been using this phone for almost 30 days. In fact, this is my second OnePlus 5T unit. I did a great water resistance test with the original one, which I'll place a link in the description down below. This is an iterative update to the OnePlus 5, so is it worth it? Let's find out. A lot of reviewers are saying the OnePlus 5T and the OnePlus 5 have a very boring design. I couldn't disagree more. I think these phones are simple looking, they're all metal, and the curved back makes the phone feel comfortable in the hand. Like, do you really want them to put a notch on top of the phone, affect the visual experience, and cause problems when you're consuming media? I'd rather them take a more conservative approach, making this phone feel like those comfortable pair of jeans that you always keep coming back to. Now, unfortunately, there isn't no wireless charging, there's no micro SD card slot, and there's still no water resistance. But these are added benefits on more expensive phones, and to me, it's not going to persuade me not to buy this device. Now, it does come with a headphone jack, which is something a lot of other companies are removing from their devices. I know eventually OnePlus will take it away, but maybe we have a good solid 1 to 2 years left. So if you prefer wired audio, which by the way always sounds better, you're going to want to hang on to this device a little bit longer. There's still only one speaker on the bottom of the phone, and it's fine. It gets loud enough for day-to-day use. In fact, it's probably the same speaker that's in the OnePlus 5. Other design changes include a slightly raised camera bump, at least compared to the one on the OnePlus 5, and the fingerprint scanner is no longer on the front because it's now on the back, similar to the Pixel 2 and of course the Galaxy Note 8. They did this for one reason, to bring the phone to 2017 standards. You now have a 6-inch display with very little bezel, making it pretty much the exact same size as the OnePlus 5. The display is still full HD, so 2160 by 1080, but it's using the new 18:9 aspect ratio. So in some ways you get more screen real estate when you're doing productivity stuff, but when you're consuming media, you might get a little bit more with the OnePlus 5. The colors are pretty much in line with the OnePlus 5. You're not gonna see that big of a difference in terms of color accuracy and color reproduction. In fact, I have them both side by side and I can't even tell the difference. And even though the display is not on par with the Galaxy S8, it still gets bright enough outdoors. The color profiles are fantastic. OnePlus lets you change them. So if you want something a little bit more realistic, you can leave it on that. Or if you want to bump up the saturation, you have that option too. The software experience is pretty much the same as the OnePlus 5, running Android 7.1.1. Now, I do personally feel OnePlus missed the ball on this. They could have released the phone with Android 8.0, considering they released this phone late November. Now, they are saying it's going to come out Q1 of 2018, but I mean, this is running pretty close to stock Android and would have been a good opportunity. With that being said, this brings me into performance. And of course, just like the previous OnePlus 5, this thing runs fast as butter. In fact, it's one of the fastest smartphones I've used in 2017. The continuation of having 6 to 8 gigabytes of RAM, the latest Snapdragon 835, and of course, a very stock experience provides a very fast performing smartphone. The camera is an interesting area because OnePlus made a huge deal on how much better it is, especially in low light, than it is on the OnePlus 5. Quite frankly, I've been using it. It's pretty darn similar and I don't see that much of a difference. You still have 2 cameras on the back, one's 16 and the other one is 20, just like the OnePlus 5, but this time you have a second lens that's dedicated to low light photography. Now, I've taken a bunch of pictures with both phones and in low light, the results are not that significant. In fact, they're pretty similar. If anything, the OnePlus 5T has slightly more detail in the shadows. In terms of daylight, it takes good photos. Of course, it's not going to be as good as something like on the Galaxy Note 8, the iPhone 10, or even the Pixel 2, but for a phone at this price range, the pictures are good enough. Video stabilization is still being done electronically. Unfortunately, there's no optical image stabilization, and for those of you unfamiliar, having OIS is much preferred because it's a physical piece of hardware that helps stabilize the footage. I mean, it's fine for EIS, it's definitely not going to be better than something like the Pixel 2, the iPhone 10, or any other phone that has OIS, but good enough for a phone at this price point. The OnePlus 5T has remarkable battery life, easily getting me through the entire day and into the next without having to top up. In fact, I'd rank it as maybe top 5 of having the best battery in 2017 on a flagship device. Based on my tests, the Mate 10 Pro came out first, followed by the Pixel 2 XL, followed by the OnePlus 5T, and just below it, the iPhone 8 Plus. you have dash charging. Dash charging allows you to top up your phone pretty quickly. 30 minutes for a full charge, which is the fastest compared to any other smartphone that I've used this year. So here's the bottom line. The OnePlus 5T is a remarkable experience, and they managed to do this while keeping the price at $500. Sure, it doesn't have the best camera, it doesn't have the best display, but it has great battery life, amazing performance, and a good software experience. At the end of the day, what are you paying $500 more for? Just a better camera and just a better display. The OnePlus 5T managed to hit every single area to make it good enough, providing you great value. With phones going up to $1,000 and over, there's no better time to look at phones like the OnePlus 5T as a great option. So that wraps up my review of the OnePlus 5T. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like this thing? Do you prefer something else? I want to hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.